Grammy award-winning singer and songwriter Sheryl Crow is coming to New Zealand in April for a tour. And she's joined by Melissa Etheridge. She also has an album out called Be Myself, and she joins me now. Hello there.
Hey, how are you, Jesse?
I'm great. I was interested to read that you and Melissa Etheridge are old friends. How did you meet?
We have known each other for, dare I say, 25 years. You know, we got started together around the same time. I think her album came out a little bit before my first album came out. We just, always crossed paths on different festivals and different radio gigs, and we've known each other a long time, and we've had, real similar stories. We both had breast cancer. We obviously are both women who've fought hard to get where we are, and have really enjoyed a lot of longevity. So, it's going to be a great and very celebratory feeling tour for both of us.
I don't know if this is one of those facts that get made up by someone and sticks, but I read that you met when you were a backup singer on Michael Jackson's Bad tour. Is that true? And if so, what was that experience like?
I was a backup singer. Oh, it was amazing. We started our tour. Actually, we started in Japan, and then we went immediately to Australia. I don't think we got to come to New Zealand at all, but we spent about 6 weeks in Australia, and then we went over Europe, and we really went everywhere. And for someone who had just been a school teacher, a year before, it was quite an amazing experience. And he was great to work for, although I didn't have that much interaction with him except on stage. It was still an incredible experience.
Tell me about the album Be Myself. It's been a few years since Feels Like Home. You were obviously in a space where you were ready, and I understand that you teamed up with a former writing partner and wrote some real good old school Sheryl Crow tunes.
Absolutely. We got in to make, really to write a few songs, and the next thing we knew, we'd made a record, within a month's time. And that was largely inspired by not only social media becoming a giant distraction and what it's like to raise kids in the age of technology, but also what was happening in the United States. This was during the pre-election and during the campaigning, and people, I don't know, it was just an odd experience to be living through that and to watch the behaviors of people in America, the way people were talking to each other, and just the rhetoric of hate. And I felt like I got into the studio and just pressed record, and all these concerns and feelings came out. And it's, even though there's some heavy and deep stuff on it, it's a really fun record. It's a lively record. It's a record that's full of energy and angst and some joy as well. So it's by far my favorite record that I've made since the beginning.
How do you ever go about working out a set list these days? How do you decide what to play and when?
Well, if it's my own gig, if I'm not sharing the bill, I have the luxury of being able to play 2.5 or 3 hours. And depending on where we're playing, we definitely play the hits, but we also we play some new things that we know are going to go over. And so far, we've been really pleasantly surprised with how well the songs are going over, even though people don't know them as well. They still sing along, and so we just try to make it a fun set list.
Is there a lyric of yours that people bring up all the time, Sheryl? Like, I've got to say to you, I often think of you when I'm having a good beer buzz. Like, that's true. I think, I've got a good beer buzz early in the morning. Hopefully not too often early in the morning, but is there one lyric that people bring up to you again and again?
Well, that definitely is one of them that sticks out. There's a lyric in Every Day is a Winding Road that I feel like a stranger in my own life. People invariably will come up and tell me that line really resonated with them.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, that song was inspired by Paul Hester, the drummer of Crowded House, who I know is they're...
Was it really?
And It really was. And and actually Neil Finn sang on that song. He sang on the backgrounds. You can hear him at the very end.
That's so good. Where was that recorded?
It was recorded in Los Angeles at Sunset Sound Recorders. And Chad Blake, who a Crowded House has worked with quite a lot, was involved in that record. And I had just toured with those guys. And, so it has a lot of meaning.
Yeah, we'll play it straight after this, and we'll listen to it with renewed interest. You mentioned social media before, and I wonder, for someone who's old school like you, how long it took for you to get used to the idea of promoting yourself or speaking with your fan base on social media. Did you take some convincing?
Well, I still am in struggle with that. I have small kids, and I have no recollection of my mom ever being tethered to a telephone while I was growing up. We had her attention, and I don't want my kids to feel like their memories are all of me looking down at a gadget. And so I can't dedicate my life, certainly not my time, to always being on social media. And that, as an artist now, it puts you at a disadvantage.
Will you get a bit of downtime while you're in New Zealand in April?
I'm hoping. It's a pretty packed tour, but we're going to come a couple of days early because one of my objectives really is for my kids to see environmentally conscious New Zealanders are, and I've always loved that. And so I'm going to get them out and show them some things in New Zealand that they might not see, and they're both really excited about it. We're gonna just pack it all in, and then they can sleep on the way back.
Awesome. Yeah, get out in the bush, meet some of our native birds. We'd love to have you. We're really excited about it too.
Exactly.
Sheryl Crow in New Zealand in April, along with Melissa Etheridge on tour, and her latest album is Be Myself. Real pleasure to chat to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Take care. We'll see you when we get there.